Hi everyone, this is me, Jyotika Bedi, founder of Happiness is Love. We make relationships better. Are you aware of some of the do's and don'ts to improve your communication in marriage? Well, I was very curious to learn. I've been married for 2 decades now, and I wish somebody had handed me the tools, the guidelines, the manual on the do's and the don'ts. Before I begin, thank you for all the love, for all the support that you're showering on us. We at Happiness is Love truly believe that when we share, we learn, we grow, we support, and we heal each other. We shall now discuss some marriage communication tips or some do's and don'ts that you might need to practice in order to improve your communication in marriage. Thank you for liking, sharing, and subscribing. If you have not subscribed to our channel, please press the subscribe button right now and the ting bell icon button so that you can hear from us. So what are some of the tools that I have learned and I would love to share with you? Number 1, try and be specific. Whenever you wish to make a point, make sure that you are specific about it. Don't beat around the bush or talk about random things that are insignificant. Well, I'm guilty of the same. Avoid generalizing by making statements like, Sandeep, you always do that. You are always hurting my feelings. Or you never do this, or you never do that. This may not solve the purpose. Instead, you may end up hurting your spouse and you might even hurt your relationship. What is the key? The key is to be respectful. No matter what kind of conversation you and your spouse are having, respect is non-negotiable. I believe that love is actually incomplete without respect. And you know what? We all demand respect without being respectful ourselves. You cannot keep a happy, healthy marriage intact by disrespecting your spouse. So it is important to practice and model respect yourself first, because whatever you're seeking, ask yourself, am I giving it? By being a good listener, you show that you respect what your partner says so that your partner feels heard, feels understood, and feels supported. And then you can communicate effectively in the most positive, warm, and firm manner things that are bothering you. When you listen to your partner, you will realize that your partner will also then listen to you. Do not nag or taunt. This is something we all know. No one likes getting picked on and nagged, right? And if we tend to be nitpickers, nobody enjoys our company. And the same holds for our spouse. You cannot keep making your partner feel guilty or responsible for past mistakes whenever you wish to make a point. And if you start digging the past, it's only going to hurt the relationship. Your partner wants to feel loved. Your partner wants to feel wanted. And every time we taunt our partner, it only causes more hurt and more pain. And it also impacts the relationship. So one rule that I have learned in my marriage is to never dig in family members or friends when you're having arguments, because we all tend to then arm ourselves with ammunition regarding the past or use family members or friends and conversations that are hurtful, and we use them to hurt our partner. Because they say when you're hurting yourself, that's when you hurt others. But we have to learn and we have to realize that this is something which is very, very unhelpful. Number 4, do not jump to conclusions. Do not assume things or cook up your own stories without having a word with your spouse. Healthy communication requires healthy tools and techniques and skills that you need in order for you to be an effective communicator. You may get angry that your spouse did not pick up your call without even understanding or giving them a chance to explain why it happened. Talk to your spouse about what is it that's really bothering you regarding them, and know the truth behind their side of the story. There's always an effective way to communicate our feelings, to ask for what we want and need. And this is the work that we do at Happiness is Love, where we give you tools, we build you and help you learn healthy habits and challenge your mindset, upgrade your motivation and your communication skills so that you can be your bestest, grandest version and you can bring your best self forward. Make sure that you have regular conversations. No matter how busy you are, how much work you are doing, make sure that you take out time in the day to have meaningful conversations with your spouse. If you cannot think of anything to talk about, act goofy or act silly or share a hearty laugh with each other. It is very important to focus on those micro moments of shared happiness, sharing a joke, watching Netflix, a series, something on Netflix that interests both of you, making coffee for each other. It's really the little things that have a big impact on our marriage. It is important to communicate to your spouse on a regular basis to keep the love flowing in the relationship. The problem really occurs when we stop communicating, when we stop expressing our feelings, our wants, our needs, when we stop sharing with each other. Next, no blame game. Even if you're mad because your spouse did something wrong, I get it. I've been married for 2 decades, like I shared. It is not recommended to start playing the blame game. Possibly, your spouse may have had some self-realization that a mistake was committed and would take necessary measures in order to make amends. However, even if there are no realizations, it's always better to put across your point warmly, calmly, politely, and firmly without making the other person feel that you are attacking them, blaming them for your hurt or your sadness. We all tend to do this. Whenever we are frustrated, we are unhappy, we tend to blame others, and especially our spouse, for our unhappiness, for our frustrations, for our sadness, and for our sorrows. And at Happiness is Love, this is what we teach you: to reclaim your power, to own whatever you're feeling, and learn the tools to communicate those feelings with love and with respect. There is always a better way. Ask yourself, is there something about my attitude and behavior that needs correction? What is my communication style? Is it sometimes commanding, demanding, or complaining? Or is my communication style encouraging and empowering? Do I invite cooperation and involvement when I communicate with my spouse? What are my areas of growth and development? How can I be a more effective communicator? How can I learn the tools and techniques so that I feel heard, I feel understood, and so does my spouse? My husband and I read a lot of books, and we exchange notes almost on a daily basis on how we can help each other, how we can build ourselves and each other, and then build our family, build our children, build our community, and build our legacy together. Because I always say that marriage is the perfect place for self-discovery. We want to know who you are, what you do, and how you do it. You will get a lot of feedback from your spouse, and some of it is really good for your growth and development. And believe me, things that trigger you about your spouse are really signals for your growth and development. So go thank your spouse for helping you be your bestest version. Don't just rely on online chatting. When you're away at work or away from home, chatting through a medium of online chatting is convenient to an extent, but cannot substitute meaningful eye-to-eye conversations. Make sure you take out time, not just for online modes of communication, but to make sure that you spend time face-to-face, looking at each other in each other's eyes and holding hands and trying to communicate so that there is less confusion and less strain in your relationship. Also, I have learned not to be too defensive. If your partner needs to bring out some complaints or issues against you, it is important to listen to them intently without being defensive. It is equally hard for your partner to bring his or her concerns to you. And if he or she is expressing whatever they want and need from you, you must own your own flaws. Make sure you listen and take effective measures to solve the issue rather than get defensive and attack back. Be tolerant. We all have different preferences, likes and dislikes. And the same goes for two people who are married to each other. You may like watching cricket, but your spouse likes tennis. Appreciate your similarities and learn to respect and accept your differences. Be appreciative and tolerant of each other's hobbies, choices, and other aspects instead of just complaining about it. Because when you become receptive, your partner does too. And the last tool that I want to share with you that has really helped me in my marriage flourish is to express positive feelings. Most of us may talk about our worries, our tensions, our fears, and other negative feelings more than we talk about feelings, positive feelings, feelings of gratitude for your spouse. In fact, we have a practice at home where we express gratitude to each other, our children and our parents every single day. This is really our prayer, where we just use simple words to thank our family, to appreciate the little things that really are the big things, so that we can model this for our children. Make sure that you activate more positive feelings of love, compassion, gratitude, and joy in each other. Make sure you include more positive talks, which would include complimenting each other, showing love and care to each other, activating more positive thoughts and feelings and actions. Because communication, positive communication in your marriage is really the lifeblood. And it is it's like the core, it's at the heart of your marriage. It is important to open channels so that you have clear, open, honest, respectful conversation with your spouse, so that you can build more trust, and it means that you build a deeper connect with your spouse. I hope this video was useful to you. If you're struggling with any aspect of your life, whether it is in your marriage, if you're newly married or been married for long, or at work or at home, please reach out to us. We at Happiness is Love are here for you because we care, and we really believe that it's time that we all invest in skills and build healthy habits and upgrade our mindset, our motivation, and our communication styles so that we can build a better future. Thank you for all the love, for all the support. Keep smiling, keep shining, keep inspiring.